Hallo Leute, wie geht's? My name is Anna and I want to talk with you today about one of the most important topics in German grammar, and it's cases. So let's go. As you know, in German there are 4 cases: nominative, accusative, genitive and dative. Today we are going to talk about all of them. Depending on what case you want to use, the article which is standing before of the noun can change and namely get the new ending. For us to better remember which case and when we are gonna use it, I would like to ask you to focus on the questions which this case is answering. So now let's look which questions we need and how does the article change according to it. The first case I want to talk with you about, it's a nominative case. The first one and the easiest one in German. As you can guess, this case answers to the questions who and what. In German it sounds like wer und was. In this case, all of the articles are the same as we usually know them. If it's a definite article, it's der for male gender, die for female gender, and das for neutral gender. If we talk about indefinite article, it's ein for male and neutral genders, and eine for female gender. Negative article, relatively the same. Kein for male and neutral, and keine for female. If it's a plural, we are going to use a definite article die and negative article keine. For example, ein Mann fragt mich nach der Richtung. Wer or who, ein Mann. It's a nominative. Der Tisch gefällt mir. Was or what? Keine Lampe ist so gut wie die. What or was? So it's also nominative. So right now, let's switch to the next case, which is accusative. Who, what, where, when, was, wohin. That's the questions which answers accusative. And before we are going to discuss this topic, you may notice that accusative and nominative has the same questions, what and who, which are the same when we are translating them to English, but completely different in German. How can we understand exactly which are we going to use? When you are using the nominative case, you will be always accompanied with the verb to be. For example, this is a dog. Das ist ein Hund. The question is, what is it? And also when we pay attention to the subject which performs the action. For example, the dog was barking at me. Der Hund hat mich angebellt. Wer, was hat es gemacht? Who or what did it? When you use accusative case, you are paying attention to the object to who this action was performed. For example, I saw a man. Ich habe einen Mann gesehen. I saw who? I want to visit my friend. Ich will meinen Freund besuchen. Ich will wen or who besuchen. When you will face with the question where, you will also see two meanings of this word. Where as a direction and where is the actual place. And the question where direction, it's exactly the accusative case. Okay, so now let's see what actually changes when we are going to use accusative case. Neutral and female genders are not getting any changes, and their articles, all of the type of them, are the same as in nominative. If it's definite article, it's die for female and plural, and das for neutral. If it's indefinite article, it's ein for neutral and eine for female. If it's negative article, it's keine for female and plural, and kein for neutral. The only one gender which gets some changes is male gender. And namely, we are getting the ending en to all of the articles in this case. And it would look like this. For definite, der is changing to den. In indefinite, ein is changing to einen. In negative article, kein is changing to keinen. Okay, now let's pay attention to the examples. I have a book. Ich habe ein Buch. I have the book. Ich habe das Buch. It was neutral gender, and you can see that essentially nothing changed. You are buying the bag. Du kaufst die Tasche. You're buying a bag. Du kaufst eine Tasche. With the female gender, nothing changed at all too. Now let's talk about male gender in accusative. I watch a film. Ich schaue mir einen Film an. I didn't see a dog. Ich sah keinen Hund. I'm buying the computer. Ich kaufe den Computer. I go to school every day. Ich gehe in die Schule jeden Tag. There was a question, where? Where are you going? Ich gehe in die Schule jeden Tag. I'm going to the park. Ich gehe in den Park. Wohin or where are you going? In den Park. Okay, so now it's time to talk about dative. Whom, where, from where, when. Wem, wo, woher und wann. That are the questions which dative case answers. You already remember the two types of question where. So the question where actual place it's the question of dative case. For example, where are my socks? Ah, they are in the cupboard. Wo sind meine Socken? Ach ja, die sind in dem Schrank. In this case, changes are required to all of the genders and all types of the article. So let's talk about definite article. So let's talk about male gender. Definite article der becomes dem. Indefinite article ein becomes einem. Negative article kein becomes keinem. Similar changes happen to the neutral gender too. So definite article das becomes dem, indefinite article ein becomes einem, and negative article kein becomes keinem. For female gender, definite article die becomes der. Indefinite article eine becomes einer, and negative article keine becomes keiner. So let's practice more with the examples. I'm giving the pen to the girl. I'm giving the pen to whom? To the girl. Ich gebe einen Kuli dem Mädchen. Here you can see two cases on practice. I give what? Einen Kuli. I give to whom? Dem Mädchen. I am from Switzerland. Ich komme aus der Schweiz. Die Schweiz. The country Switzerland in German translation had the article die, so it's a female gender, and it stays in dative case. So, ich komme aus der Schweiz. I have an exam on Wednesday. I have an exam when? On Wednesday. Ich habe eine Prüfung an dem Mittwoch. Or you can use the short form am. Ich habe eine Prüfung am Mittwoch. Socks are in the cupboard. Where are the socks? Die Socken sind wo? In dem Schrank. Or you can use the short form im. Die Socken sind im Schrank. Now let's talk about plural. So here the article die changes to the den, and also the noun is getting the ending n. For example, I gave the number to the friends. Ich gab die Nummer den Freunden. So we have here the noun der Freund, friend. For plural, it's die Freunde, and when this noun is used in plural and dative case, it will be den Freunden. The last but not least, genitive, which is answering the question whose, and in German wessen. Here everything is not that complicated. There is only one question we should answer: whose. Let's look how our articles are going to change. When we are going to talk about male, gender, definite article, der becomes des. Ein in indefinite article becomes eines. Kein in negative article becomes keines. When we are going to talk about neutral gender, it's the same. Definite article das becomes des, indefinite article ein becomes eines, and negative article kein becomes keines. Female gender, definite article die becomes der, indefinite article eine becomes eine, and negative article keine becomes keiner. In plural form, die becomes der, keine becomes keiner. We should also notice that in genitive case, all of the nouns in neutral and male genders are getting the ending s. For example, the topic of the lesson, das Thema des Unterrichts, the page of the book, die Seite des Buchs, the light of the lamp, das Licht der Lampe, the homework of pupils, die Hausaufgaben der Schüler. Here I would love to give you some more tips about using genitive case in German. First of all, if you want to apply the genitive case on the name, just put the ending s in the end of the name. For example, das ist Annas Buch. If the name ends already on s or x, we just put the apostrophe on the end of the name. For example, das ist Max Buch. The tip number 2. If you don't like using genitive, you can also use the alternative von, which means from. But don't forget that von always requires the dative case after itself. For example, das ist ein Buch von Anna. Das ist ein Buch von dem Freund. That's a book of Anna. That's a book of my friend. And for the end, short forms of articles with prepositions. You can make shorter some articles together with the prepositions, and it happens very often in dative and accusative case. In accusative case, it happens only to neutral gender. For example, I am driving to the countryside. Ich fahre wohin? Auf das Land. You can also use the short form aufs, just putting together auf and das. Ich fahre aufs Land. We are going to the cinema. Wir gehen wohin? In das Kino. Here you can also use the short form, just putting together in and das, and say ins. Wir gehen ins Kino. In dative case, it can happen to male and neutral genders. For example, I am in the park. I am where? Ich bin in dem Park. Ich bin im Park. And the small bonus in the end. Let's make some exercises to test yourself. how good you understood this topic. So, the question number 1. Ich gehe Theater. Das Theater. Number 2. Ich komme Türkei. Die Türkei. Number 3. Ich bin Zimmer. Das Zimmer. Number 4. Das ist Kuli. Der Kuli von Matthias. And number 5. Donnerstag gehe ich nicht in die Schule. The answer to this small test you can find in the description of the video, so please share with me in the comments how many right answers did you get. I really hope you liked this video and it was informative for you. See you in the next videos. Have a nice day.